Hi, everyone. I just wanted to jump on here really quickly and make a video explaining what to do when you feel like you're just really tied to your past and your past stories. So, I have a friend who has just come out of a long relationship with someone who was abusive to her. So, I'm just going to use her as an example. And of course, I'm not going to say her name or anything like that. Change my screen a little bit. So when I hear her talking, she talks a lot, and she's just come out of this relationship, so it makes sense. But she talks a lot about this person and this experience they had, and it's a lot of talking about this person. So she's very much tied and still engaged and living in that relationship. That's still a very big part of her identity. So I gave her advice the other day on how this is, of course, just one way, one of probably many, many, many ways you can unhook yourself from your past in your past stories. So I suggested to her that she think of every single experience that she had with this person. And he was very involved with her family also. And so I said, think of every single thing you guys have ever done. And in your imagination, you're going to write down every instance on a piece of paper. So let's say they went on this vacation and she sees that whole thing in her mind in a meditation. So she'll go into meditation, see the whole experience of this vacation in her mind, the good times, the bad times, all of it, and write down on that piece of imaginary paper the vacation in the Outer Banks. And then put that piece of paper, tie it to a string that's attached to a balloon, or just throw it inside the balloon itself. It doesn't matter. Then think of the next instance and see that whole thing playing out in your mind. So maybe it was a time they went to some concert and it was really fun. So write that on that imaginary piece of paper, tie it to a string that's connected to that balloon. Then the next instance, the whole family went out to eat. The kids and everyone went out to eat and you had this great time. Or maybe there was a time when you had a major blow up. So you're going to go through that, think of that, reprocess that in your mind, and you're just going to keep doing this. And it's probably going to take more than one meditative session because you're not going to think of everything at once. It might be too long. So you might have to do this over the course of numerous meditations. But let's just say you get 7 or 8 instances and you've played them in your mind. You've written it down on this imaginary piece of paper. You've tied it onto a balloon. Now you're going to let that balloon go. You're going to send it off with love and thanks for everything it taught you. When you're in that meditation and you're replaying all these instances in your mind, you're going to ask yourself, what lessons did I learn from that, or what experiences did I have? Maybe you had an experience of great joy. You had time of great love. Maybe it was the importance of family, the value of family. Or maybe it was something really bad of, wow, the lesson I learned was that I never want to be that vulnerable ever again. I never want to be so powerless ever again. If they're traumatic events, I never want to feel that angry ever again. Whatever the lessons that you feel you learned, so you're going to watch this balloon float into the sky with all these experiences dangling from strings with the imaginary letters or notes of the experience tied onto the ends of these strings. You're going to send it off with love, all of the lessons affiliated with all of those experiences, and you're going to watch it disappear. And you're going to let it go, and you're going to let it go with love. And you're going to keep doing this over and over and over in meditation until you feel like you've exhausted every single experience and you've let it go. So, like I said, this might take numerous times, numerous sessions of doing this. And actually, it can, let's say you're at work and an instance pops up and you think, oh, I forgot about that when I didn't include that in my meditation. You can actually just close your eyes for all of 1 minute and write it on that imaginary piece of paper. Go through, remember that experience under meditation. Just close your eyes, remember that experience, what the lessons were that you learned or the experience that you had. Tie it to that balloon, send that balloon off, and watch it go. Send it off with love. So you can do this until you feel like you've drained every single experience and letting it go. And at that point, you're going to want to realize and remember that I've let go of all these experiences. I've let go. I've released all of these stories. They are no longer who I am. That's not me anymore. The past is not real. We just keep reliving it, thinking it's still real, but it's really not. So we're letting it go. We're being done. We're unhooking ourselves from our past and from our past experiences. And this is just one of many steps in her growth process, but it's a pretty profound one. And it's a very, very important one because it's really hard to be in the now moment, which is where you are. You're in the now moment. If you're constantly living, thinking you're living in the past and in these past experiences. So I hope that helps. And I hope you all have an amazing day.